to part 2 of Kumpfy Konstruction as I am destroying and then remodeling a bathroom. Just a recap, Allie's grandma is going to be moving in with us and she needs to have a walk-in shower done. So we are going to be taking out this tub surround today. Yesterday I took the toilet, and then where this was, the vanity was right there. And now we're going to take this out. So it's going to be hopefully not too much of an adventure today, but this is my first time doing a removal of a tub, and then going to be obviously the first time putting in the surround for the walk-in shower. So we're gonna just keep plugging away on this, part 2. And I think after this, then we're gonna start looking at doing construction instead of demolition, which will be fun. So let's just keep going. The first step we really have to do with taking this out is removing the drain, the overflow, faucet, obviously the valve for hot and cold. And if you look up on top, that is not part of the surround up there, but I'm still gonna take this off just because the hose gets in the way. But removing these because those are keeping it held to the wall. And then once those are loose, we can start moving around to taking these edges off on there. So let's get moving on taking that stuff out. Drain, they actually have special tools that are designed to go in and fit into those slots down there, if you can see that. I don't have one of those special tools. However, what I'm going to do is just use a pliers down in there, and if I can't twist it, I'll stick a screwdriver in between the two handles here, and then hopefully it should come loose. So we'll give that a try. All right, adventure time. This is, at least from what I saw in a lot of other YouTube videos, one of the bigger issues for people is trying to get the drain off. If you don't have that specialty tool, it makes things so much more difficult. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried. So I've resolved, I'm gonna go see if the hardware store is open. And I'm gonna go see if I can just go get one of those tools because I can't get this thing to go off. Adventure. So before I actually run to the store, spend money, and gas prices aren't awesome right now, so I actually called my friend who is much wiser than me, and he said, why don't you just take 2 screwdrivers and crisscross them, and that's should work. He says that's what he does all the time. So I'm gonna give that a try first. bending this, I'm gonna need a beefier screwdriver, I think. Jeez. That is not working. Well, to the store I think I go. Fantastic. Well, to the store I go. That wasn't working. Oh man. Well, you know, again, it is the Comfort motto, adventure. Never fails. It's going to be one of those silly things. I mean, as simple as the drain. I thought, you know, there'd be something else, but hey, I shouldn't jinx myself. I'm not even halfway there yet on this project. So, yeah, I'm going to go to my favorite store, Fleet Farm, and I'm going to go pick up a specialty tool and then drive back home. Yay. Well, the adventure continues. My favorite store, Fleet Farm, does not have the specialty tool for the drain. A little disappointed, but I still love you, Fleet Farm. I am gonna head over to Home Depot now. Adventure! Home, and as you saw, I got the tool. Funny how something so simple is what I really need. So hopefully this works, because I'm not sure what I would do if it doesn't. All right, here we go. Let's give this thing a shot. Fits right in there. Oops, bang around real hard. And then you're supposed to put a wrench on here like this so you don't bend a screwdriver like I did. Oh, son of a gun. Just look at that. It's amazing when you use the right tool, things work. Sweet. Gross. All right. We're back in business. Woohoo! Okay, so got the top off here. Got down all these pieces, so everything is off and loose. Looking at this guy here, and that fitting might be something I can try to get off. Otherwise, really, the next step is to go through on the edges here all along, and what these surrounds do is they have a lip that actually sticks out about 1 3/4 inches, about 2 inches I think, somewhere on there, where they actually attach that lip onto the stud that's right over there, and then they actually take the drywall and they put it over the top when they finish it. So when you have to take a surround apart, you're actually having to go around the whole edge there, up over the top, around, and same on the other side going down. You actually have to remove some of the drywall that's on there. There's no way around it. So we're just gonna try to be a little bit delicate with it, cut some straight lines, and then we're just gonna have to replace some of that drywall when we put the new surround in there. What I'm gonna do is actually go through with one of my levels and just get some good lines marked so I can cut straight. Otherwise, well, you know me, it's gonna do one of those things, and then measuring and trying to put new drywall in is not gonna be fun. So I'm gonna get that all set up, and then I'm gonna start using kind of like a little oscillating tool to kind of cut through all that stuff. On this side, that lip is actually probably being covered up by our window trim. So that trim is going to have to get pulled out so I can get to that, which means the top piece, this whole side piece, and that one through there. We have plastic on this window because it lets in a pretty bad draft. We're going to be replacing windows soon anyways, but alright, just another thing. One nice thing about having to take the trim off the window is that I can get the plastic off, and now I can get some natural lighting in here so it's not so dark, so that's a positive. I went ahead and scribed the lines around to take the drywall off on there. I'm going to use this oscillating tool to just go hopefully pretty quick through the drywall and then pull that stuff off. Everything is dusty, and I've got drywall dust in my eyes. We got our lines cut all through. What I'm going to do is just pry those out. The hammer and the crowbar, it'll expose some of that, and you'll kind of see, hopefully, where the surround actually is attached to studs. That's what I'm thinking. And yeah, if I open the window, which I'm going to because it's dusty, I'm also competing with race cars. Races started back up on Sunday nights. So yeah, if you hear a little bit of buzzing in the background, it's probably because the cars are racing around. I don't know. Adventure. Oh, and on top of that, I stepped on the wax ring. So I had to clean that off my shoe too. I think it's going well. All right, time to pull some drywall off. big old mess. Well, that's part of demolition, right? Got the entire edge exposed, so you see how there's this lip here, and then it looks like there was an existing wall there when they put this in, and these aren't actually 2x4s necessarily, unless there's some studs behind, which I'm assuming it is because these are in solid. But all the way through there, and then on this side, see that this was actually something that seems to have been added, because that wall right through there will go to what will be Grandma's room on that side. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, we'll just pull the nails out of the lips here that are hanging over, and then the real fun part begins, because there's no real good way of pulling this out. I'm gonna try, but for the most part, probably gonna turn to my friend right here, Sawzall. Probably gonna hack this thing up into pieces that are gonna be manageable to pull out. I don't know, we'll try. This is all new to me. To pull the nails off around, but there's a ton of them and they don't want to come loose. I was breaking pieces of fiberglass off, and so I said, you know what, I'm not going to try taking this thing out in one big piece. It's just not going to happen. So we are going to move over to my friend the Sawzall, and I'm going to make a few cuts through. Trying not to go too deep. I don't think there's anything back there, but just in case, I'm just going to keep it at a high angle and just cut pretty shallow, and then just pull them out in sections, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get those nails out. So this is probably the funnest part of this whole demo right now. Two things. Good thing my wife is not only beautiful, but she's also very, very smart. It reminded me that I'm also working with fiberglass here, so I'm gonna have to mask up so I'm not breathing in any fiberglass fibers. Second of all, if you take a look at this, these old houses. So notice how those aren't studs that those are attached to, but if you look down here, this little exposed spot, that is called lath and plaster. That's what a lot of old houses are made from, and that's why they attached those basically as shims in between to hook onto. Not that big of a deal, but I got to decide if I'm going to rip that down completely and put studs in, or keep it the way it is and just connect how they had things connected as well. I got to do some research on that, and I'll figure that out. But the other thing is, there's no gap here, so when I go to cut, I'll be cutting right into a wall like this. So I got to be careful on how I'm doing this. I might try to just pull the whole thing down. If I cut in that corner, go there, and then rip across the bottom area, because there's a gap there. I might be able to pull this whole back section out in one piece without harming that back wall. So that's great. Ow. Ow. Oh, beards and masks. Oh, well, safety first though, right? Okay, time to keep on cutting. Let's take a closer look at what we just found. Whew. All right, can finally breathe a little bit. This is cool. Get to see the original hardwood again. It runs through, obviously those layers that ran on top. And if you look down here, I got a light running from the basement. That is the basement, and if you see this right here underneath, that's all fieldstone on this house. It's probably 3 feet thick. The foundation isn't going anywhere on this place, but kind of interesting when you look at how they did different things to make things work. I got a little phone line that they ran and put through the wall right there that nobody really uses for anything anyways. We don't have landline and we don't run our internet that way. But yeah, just kind of interesting there. And yeah, you see more of that lath and plaster along the bottom, and that does run consistent through there. Also, if you look here though, this, like I said, is drywalled through that, and that would be where Grandma's room is on the other side. I'm thinking what they ended up doing here, this wasn't a wall. I think this was actually all open into that other room, and they actually built this bathroom as an add-on to the house. And this is just kind of a wall that they put in and made. So that's kind of interesting to kind of see a little bit of how they did the history on this. Well, I'm going to clean things up a little bit, and that's pretty much it for what we're going to do for today, because that was a lot of work. I'm glad I saved this for 2 days instead of trying to get it all done in one. So I'm going to go and clean up the rest of that, and then start kind of planning what we're going to have to do with the flooring potentially, and then if and how we're going to put some flooring in or redo it, or then not, and then just put in the new walk-in shower. There's a lot that goes into that, and so I'm going to do a little bit more planning now that the demolition is done. So this has been episode 2, part 2 of Kumpfy Konstruction, or deconstruction really today, but going to be constructing. I just want to thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit subscribe to the Kumpfy Life channel. And that's it. I'm gonna clean up, I'm gonna eat some food, and I'm gonna sleep. All right, I think that's it. In the immortal words of the Kumpfy. Adventure. See ya. Oh, the irony. I need a shower.